It doesn't matter how young I feel personally. As far as the rest of the world is concerned, my ass is old.
Okay, here's my intro. Let me just erase that right there and go simple. My name, A-Z, no, I don't like that. A-Z-I-Z-A-K-I-B-I-B-I.
Hey, I'm Aziza Kibibi and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. Just to give you an idea of what to expect from my videos, I really go into analyzing, talking about, encouraging, and just experiencing with my audience and exploring with my audience the human experience. To be more specific, the human experience as it pertains to surviving trauma. As a young girl, I was molested and abused by my father, which resulted in 4 children for him. I was homeschooled. I did not escape him until I was 24 years old. I lost my children in the process. So the impacts that all of that had on me psychologically, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, I've had to do a lot of work, a lot of self-work. For all of you who know me, hey y'all, my subscribers, you know I love you. Thank you for continuing with me in this this kind of crazy experience. It's gotten kind of yeah, it's been testing. Let's put it like that. But it's very fulfilling. For instance, being in the public eye brings with it a sense of increased and heightened self-awareness. Now, I was homeschooled, yes. I did not have the opportunity to go to school until I was 35 years old. And even though I escaped my father at 24, I didn't go to school until I was 35 because my last daughter that my father fathered had physical disabilities. She was differently abled. She had spinal muscular atrophy, and she essentially could not walk, could not care for herself, and I dedicated all of my time to her and my other children. I was able to experience life while taking care of them. I got married, I got divorced, I had another child for my ex-husband, but it was not until she passed away when she was 9 that I was able to go to school, because caring for her took a lot of time and energy, and I just figured, you know what, I'm going to make her life, the time that she has here, as enjoyable and as enriching as possible. And you know, I've got time, I could do other things. When she was 9, she passed away in 2010. Once I got over the trauma of losing a child, I decided to go to college, something that I had always wanted to do from when I was little. So in this video, I want to talk about one thing that I think women contend with more than anyone else. And you've heard of racism. You've heard of all forms of different kinds of discrimination. You've heard of discrimination based on your gender, your sexual identification, your abilities. But have you ever heard of ageism? If not, let me explain. So ageism is a form of discrimination against someone because of their age. You find it often in professional arenas like the modeling industry, media, anything where the cultural and societal expectations of females, of women, is to look young and look good all the time and be fit and just presentable to the public based on standards set by that culture. Being the fact that I did not escape my father until I was 24 years old, I had a very late start for everything. And then I was a single mother, so I was focused on raising my children. So now, as I mentioned earlier, 35 years old, going through college, trying to get an education, graduated. I did graduate with 2 bachelor's degrees. How old was I? I think I was 40 by then. It was 2018, so okay, I'm not going to do the math right now. But by the time I am now out in the world trying to find my way in my chosen career, which was media, I became very concerned with the possibility of not having or missing out on certain opportunities because of my age. Let me tell you why. During my college schooling process, I applied for many internships. I applied at NBC, I applied at CNN, I applied at MSNBC, I applied at Z100. I sent applications to many media outlets who were looking for either researchers or, the industry has a term, I don't really agree with it, but gophers, you know, the person that you just run around and you get this and you get that and you go for things, to PAs, to stagehands, to gaffers, like any field that I could try to get in as an intern, I applied for. But most of these applications ask for your year of birth, ask for your birth date. So when I am seeing all of my classmates around me who are young enough to be my children, like the people that I went to school with were my kids' age, I'm seeing them get chosen for different shows and different organizations and companies, the ones that they was really working towards being involved in. Yet I wasn't getting a response. I wasn't getting any callbacks, any interviews, nothing. I was getting nothing, no response whatever. So I ended up doing an internal internship with the college that I was attending, which was an awesome experience. But with my history, with my past experience, because through my father, being that he was a music video director, I worked on a lot of the projects that he did. I worked on Killing Me Softly by the Fugees. I worked on every video that he did. So I had the experience as a PA. I was the first AD for a Talib Kweli video. So it kind of confused me why then, with these experiences in my resume, granted they were some time ago, but my awesome grades, all the things that I was involved in on campus, I wasn't getting any response from outside organizations. Okay, I stayed positive. Applied for an internal internship, which was awesome, a great experience. I really enjoyed it. But at the same time, I felt like, well, this real world experience, not only that, opportunities that could have came from these outside of experiences, I just didn't have access to. And I was expecting that it was because of my age. Now, for the record, this is all speculation because there's no way to prove that I did not get any of those opportunities that I applied for because of my age. But I did find it strange. Now let's bring it a little real world, a little more real world, where I think that you can relate to relationships. So someone asked me if I felt that because I was raised isolated and I did not have a normal social experience growing up, and I was traumatized at a young age, and I was experiencing things that children just should not experience and be exposed to. If I have some regression when it comes to a sense of maturity, I don't know if I'd call it regression. I don't think I would call it regression. I would have to say my answer to that question is I am very much in touch with my younger self. Just wanted to explore, I think, really that part of people, that inquisitive part, right? Especially of children. Children are learning the world. They're learning their surroundings. They're trying to get to know what this place that they have landed on is. And because I was kept away from much of regular everyday life experiences, I am eager and very excited to learn about people, meet people, interact with people, and everything that comes along with that. Even some of the challenging things, like someone will be a complete asshole, maybe a stranger, not necessarily someone directly in my life, but I find myself, when I see someone acting less than agreeable towards me, I find myself analyzing why, what happened in their life. Like, I'm really curious at what is it that contribute to who they are and why they're responding in this situation, in this manner. For instance, one time I was driving, I was dropping a friend off to work, and I'm pulling out of the parking lot. There was a lot of traffic. Now, in my opinion, I had the right of way because there were lights and my light was green, and this car comes flying around and he cuts me off. So I blow my horn and he round down his window and called me the N-word. That was actually the first time I'd ever been called the N-word. That was interesting. But anyway, I was really distracted, aside from the fact that this person, just because we were driving or whatever his road rage issues were, decided to try to hurt me in that way, in a way that was associated to the historical oppression in America. I was just like, why are you so mad? I was like, well, why are you so mad? And I found myself thinking about everything that actually brought him to that place emotionally and psychologically, for him to be so angry to stop, wind down his window, and try to hurt me verbally in that manner. Now, he ended up winning because he did get in front of me. So I just didn't understand why he was still so angry. Anyway, I tend to really look into and analyze how people work, just because I didn't really grow up around many people. I grew up around people in the way of my siblings, of course, and my mom and dad, and whatever women that my father, who was polygamist, was dealing with at the time. But I was restricted. I was always restricted. Even when I became a teenager and was involved in family business, I was not allowed to interact with the other workers. And if there was ever a situation where I was, then there was someone, whether it be my brother or one of my father's women or my mom, put in place to monitor what my communication was with them and then report that back to my father. So you can imagine that I kept communication very, very, very brief, which means that I did not have the opportunities to get to know people. So now here I am in my adult life, really just enjoying the experience of getting to know how people function, why they make the choices they make, why do they do the things that they do, and how I have an effect on that. So when it comes to romantic relationship, you know that is a whole other layer. As far as exploring the feelings of what love and arousal is and sexual interaction. But I think my inquisitiveness about just experiences and what my body can do and how my body could feel, and the fact that I have the choice and have control in who I allow to touch me and interact with me, that is another thing that I think I'm just really appreciate and am really grateful for. And I could relate to a child, and yes, my inner child, on simple things, being just excited for simple things that make you happy. So I love going to movies and roller coasters and just looking at a beautiful sky full of clouds. Those kind of things excite me. But it doesn't matter how young I feel. It doesn't matter how young I feel personally. As far as the rest of the world is concerned, my ass is old. I'm 44 years old. And especially as a woman, our culture holds more value in being young. And sometimes I think about that. Maybe a little more than I should. I know I have been told that I look younger than my age. I don't look like I'm 44 and I don't look like I've had 5 children, but I don't know. I'm still kind of conscious. And someone very close to me, I'm not going to blow up her spot. She used to lie about her age. In order to get ahead. And I think seeing that made me wonder, is that really necessary? Like, do you have to lie about your age to get the type of opportunities that is focused on how you look? So whether you are a model or an actress, I mean, I remember that whole period where Wendy Williams was just stuck on Beyonce being older than she was. Why should it matter if she is 5 years older than what she initially reported? Well, okay, I get why that matters, because that's like dishonest, and for someone who is being praised and looked up to by other women and younger women younger than them, I understand that there is an expectation of a commitment, like a trust that has been developed where you expect this person to tell the truth. Okay, so I get that part. But why did it matter that she was, if Beyonce did lie about her age, why would she have to? I think it's because of misogyny, essentially. Our patriarchal society where men are attracted to youth. And I mean, it kind of makes me cringe in certain instances, especially when you see these much older men dealing with these much younger women. I could do a whole video on why that is the case, and the man being mentally immature, so therefore he feels like a younger woman is less challenging for him and won't question what he does. I could get into a whole video about that, but I'm not going to do that here because right now we're talking about what my experience, and if you can relate, please definitely go down in the comments and let me know, because I know I can't be alone in this. I'm a 44-year-old woman. I'm quickly approaching 50. And yeah, while there are the Jennifer Lopez's of the world who just look amazing and have amazing bodies and have had kids, they got a lot of money to help maintain whatever it is that makes them look young. But even that conversation that, oh, well, yeah, Jennifer Lopez looks good for her age. Or even when people say, oh my gosh, wow, you look like a baby, or you look young, you don't look like your age. Like, I feel like that being a conversation or that being mentioned and it being a compliment is a little confusing. It's a little confusing and causes me to be a little self-conscious. So, now just a little self-conscious. I am human, y'all. I am very confident. I love myself. And I accept whatever it is that comes with getting up there in my years. I think my biggest hope is that I could just achieve what it is that I want to do in life before it's my time to go. It's my time to return to the Almighty. And that's my only concern. As far as anything else that comes along physically, as far as my physical presentation, whether it be lines, I mean, I've always had I guess you call them crow's feet. Even as a little girl, you can look at my baby picture and you can see the lines around and surrounding my eyes. I've always had these deep, sunken, you'll see my 7-year-old picture. If you go to my community post, you'll see a 7-year-old picture and I have these lines. Ladies, what do you do to make yourself feel just awesome? What do you do? It doesn't matter how old you are. It's really about how you feel and the energy that is coming from you that you put out there and the fact that you love yourself. So yeah, I just did all that whole rant about being concerned about my age and to just come back and say, you know what, I really don't care. In the end, it's not really that important. I just think about it sometimes and I wanted to talk about it with y'all. So thanks for listening again. But yeah, what do you do? What do you do to make yourself feel fly? Share with me. Tell me. Give me some ideas. The thing that I would be concerned about with aging is just physical function or illness or being more susceptible to illnesses and those kind of things developing as you approach the time when, you know, you're not supposed to be here anymore. That's really my only concern. As far as how people think I look, I am not focused on that. But when it comes to job opportunities in media, being in front of the camera and things like that, it's kind of sucks. It's really messed up that the rest of the world puts a focus on how old a woman is. And I mean, look at actresses in general. Once they reach a certain age, then they don't get the roles that they want to get. Same for models. It's crazy. So now it makes me think, well, Aziza, why did you choose media? I chose media, y'all, because it is a powerful medium to use to raise awareness on abuse, to offer support to other survivors, and hopefully change the world. I think it's a powerful medium, so I'm going to continue to do what I am doing and still look fly doing it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you have any input, you know what to do. Go down in the comments and sound off. On that note, be blessed, for you are a blessing. Bye.